Good morning, America. This is Dr. Cherry, and today we are the 27th, and that is the 28th, excuse me. That is one day after the maximum effect of the shocking, surprising type of window that we are experiencing. Okay, now let's start by telling you a few things here. Now, watch this. That is a watch, okay? An interesting watch, actually, and I bought it because I looked at it, I liked it, and who knows, but maybe I give it away because I got tons of watches. But there's no accident. And then I downed me, so why did I buy this watch? Well, anytime you buy a watch, there is a new section of your life that is about to start. Okay. Now that's why it's very important to make sure that all your bulbs in your house are working. Every dead watch means you have a dead area in your life. Okay, so make sure to replace the battery. And as we are under this very surprising window, as I came back from my conference in Vegas, look at this. Another one came in. Another one came in my mailbox. I said, "What the hell?" I never ordered two. I don't know. Hey, I don't. Actually, I do. That was just another omen for me to be prepared for another interesting surprise, which happened. Okay, and what is that surprise? Tell you what. When I was in Vegas, I was taking care of an endless chain of people who wanted to know about their future. And I had my recording machine. I had my old tape. I'm an old guy, so I do the old way, You can always get a little Walkman for $10 anywhere nowadays. So I was recording, and then this lady who had a booth just ahead of me, she goes, "Hey, Dr. Cherry, are you going to be going to the next UFO conference?" I says, "Which one are you talking about?" And she goes, "Oh, Contact in the Desert." I said, "Oh, I don't know." Next thing you know, 2 or 3 people were asking me the same thing. And then someone says to me, hey, Dr. Cherry, by the way, I know the director. Her name is Victoria, and I have a personal phone number. Why don't you call them? So I'd like to see you there because I'm going to go there. I think this lady, I didn't have time to take care of her. It was the last part of the conference, and she thought me going to Contact in the Desert, maybe we could finish the job there. So whatever. So I thought, kind of a bit too late, I mean, this thing is supposed to be May 31st. So that's about a month away from now. Well, give us enough time. So anyway, when you have so much, thing come in your face, I have a name, I have a telephone number, I have somebody who knows her. You know what? Hey, that's a good omen. So let me give it a shot. So I went outside, managed to escape for a minute. I'm going to need a cup of coffee or take care of natural means. That's the excuse I take to get away. Anyway, and I was outside, and I dialed a number, and I kind of obviously it was the weekend, so she was not there. So I left a message saying to her, "Hey, you know what? I'd like to go there and talk to George and talk to Tom, my good friend. I know they're going to be there. And I was wondering maybe if somebody cancel, if you have a spot for me, or maybe a booth. I know it's late. I'm sorry. I apologize, blah, blah, blah." And that was it. And I went back to work, and I completely forgot until I get this watch. And I came back and say, that is something interesting on the way. And here you go. She sent me an email. She said, "Hey, Dr. Cherry, heard about you." Excuse me. Heard about you, and it might be interesting if we could make it. So at that point, I don't know, not even about the booth. I still have to talk to the hotel. So send me all the information, your pictures, your bio, and then give me a call next week, and we go from there. So I have an absolutely wonderful um, slide video, a UFO slide video show that I just compiled with my Genius Webmaster. So I'm going to use that. Of course, if there is any more spots, which are down, but we never know. I will do a hypnotic regression like I used to do in previous UFO conferences. Of course, I will have my booth and I'll be there working and doing what I do best, helping people to check their future. So I wanted to share that I may be joining the wonderful crowd of great speakers out there, even though that I do not exactly have the same messages. You know, their repertoire of wisdom is definitely phenomenal, very, very educational, absolutely entertaining. And maybe you're going to have me talking there. So I'll let you know more when I know more. So that's how I would like to start. Remember this shocking video, the shocking window that we're getting through right now. I was expecting an earthquake above 6.0. I was pretty close. We had a 5.4 in Japan. I also mentioned Japan and George Norrie. But this window is still operational. And what's interesting is that I just read on the news that some of those earthquakes took place in some volcanic prone area, including Hawaii, and that could stimulate, of course, a volcanic eruption. So keep an eye, because this window will last for a few days until the next one. And I think I have the date for when the next one will take place in that newsletter. Of course, this newsletter today is titled Kim Jong-un, Vladimir Putin, Nuke Talk Association. So that's led me, of course, into this topic right now. You have to understand this window is all about the sudden release of energy. It's all about nukes. It's all about aeronautics. And if you read my newsletter yesterday or watch my little video yesterday, again, you get a better understanding of what those cosmic winds, especially the Uranic one, which are all about shocking, surprising news, is about. So you need to keep an eye and keep watching those videos, or especially read the newsletter if you're visual. Okay, now it is not an accident. You know, I'm no part of either Putin or Kim Jong-un stuff to know that, you know, ahead of time they were going to meet. And how come does it happen during my window? Because the stars don't lie. As I said, I can read the future. And that's what God created the stars in the heaven, to be used as signs, so that you can translate those signs and then be prepared to what's ahead of you. And this is what all this pure civilization used to do. And believe me, there were no astronomers during those days, only astrologers. So well, the problem that I have with that meeting is that back in January, Kim Jong-un went and visited China too, and then all those talks taking places here between three potential bad enemies to the United States is already opening the sad reality that the fact is this country, born with a dragon state in Aquarius, again, as explained in previous videos, is prone to sudden release of energy or sudden attacks. And I always mention Pearl Harbor. We didn't expect what the Japanese was going to do, which are controlled by these windows. And also, of course, 9/11 surprise attack on the towers in New York. So this country it was born with the tail of the dragon in Aquarius. And if there is something bad that will happen for America, or something bad being planned for America, it's going to be during those windows. Those windows produce all sorts of sudden release of energy. We're not talking just about earthquakes, or tornado, or volcano, but also the humans affair that delegate with nukes. So I get to worry a little bit knowing the stars of the United States. And of course, I wrote back in 2013, a few years ago, that the cyber and nuke attack on the US is only a matter of time. We already had the cyber attack, obviously, all designed coming from Russia. that led to the election of a president which has a very negative dragon stare that is cursing the entire country and the entire world in any and all affairs involving foreigners and foreign affairs. And the legacy of electing a president that had such a negative chart makes all foreign people that don't like the United States joining forces in order to, excuse me, mess with us in the future. And yeah, that's my vision, and I hate it. And I hate to be able to be so clairvoyant by translating the sign through God, cosmic divinity, through his designs, his celestial design. And that's the curse. That always says, it's a curse to have such a vision, because it's not just dedicating with the word of laws, but also in my own life, predicting my own mother's death. When I say be ready for the beginning and ending of important phases of life, and there goes my mom that died, or David Icke being refused a visa to go to Australia, pissing off millions of people who also suffered the form of an ending of their own life. And none of those people, unless I've explained it through those videos in Australia, will understand the importance to pay attention to the cosmic code and to build enough cosmic consciousness. That's how it is. Another news is that there are now some kind of big problems going on that produce the school curriculum angry backlash, mostly because part of the school curriculum that teach children about same-sex relationships, gender identity, and sexual orientation have caused an uproar in Birmingham, in England. I mean, England is a Capricorn country, rational, practical, scientists, engineers. Without the genius of the English, there would be no political structure. So what I'm trying to say is this is a very rational country, a very traditional country, including the Church of England. What I'm trying to tell you is not being cosmic conscious, those parents which are very religious also are reluctant to operate outside of what they've been indoctrinated with. Okay, they do not understand that the reason why some of the children suffer disease or become gays and lesbians, Down syndromes, autism, is all coming from the infestation induced by the reptilians who manipulated the genes of humans, before, during gestation, or even after your birth. It's just unbelievable factuality. But I mean, you haven't been trained to delegate to such a far-fetched, mind-boggling phenomenon. Nobody's there to teach you that, apart from me. Okay, I mean, there is other people who talks about extraterrestrials, and don't get me wrong, okay? All roads leads to Rome. I'm not the only all-knowing doctor. Jury, follow me and then bugger everybody up. No, I'm not talking that way. Okay, that's not my goal. All I'm trying to tell you is once the reptilians manipulate the genes on the womb of a young mother who smokes pot, drinks too much, or take legal, illegal drugs. There is so many variations to how the reptilians can do that. It will produce gays because their plan is to make as many as possible because they don't reproduce. And I understand the fear behind it at the subconscious level. But this doesn't mean you need to educate people, but not this way. When I was at Jong many years ago, I said it's so crucial, so very important to educate not only the kids, but the parents of being born gay, so to speak, because something has altered the gestation process when the young mother was pregnant. Extraterrestrials will take the fetuses of humans, but they took mine, and they took, it's explained in my many videos, and I will talk about this and showing those slides, my future upcoming UFO experience on various cruises that I have ahead of me, or California, the contact of the desert, if I'm lucky enough to get a spot to speak there. So what I'm trying to tell you is important to educate yourself. There is a little video again, that I offer. Many of you have seen it. New people are coming constantly. They know nothing about me. They just land on that thing and stay 2 minutes and go and watch some football or stupid videos are going to make millions of hits. You got to be smart and curious to delegate with us, because it's the reality of who you are and the complexity of what it means to be human, and the evolution of your spirit. You have to be ready before the real teacher appears. And there I am. Now, are you ready? That's the question. Are you going to stay here 2 minutes and move on to something you can relate to, or you be curious enough and hang around? So this little video with George Norrie, Prophecy and the Cosmic Code with Dr. Turing, the purpose is in the stars. You need to watch this little video, or if you are into one of George Norrie fan and you are into the Coast to Coast website, watch the full video, because as I always say, it's so very important to teach your children geography, history, science, languages. But who's there to teach them who they are, or the possibility of having been infected and turn out to be gay or lesbian and have different attraction to or understanding to what sex orientation is all about. It's all a matter of education. Okay, I mean, if we do not educate our children, you're going to have the same thing that's happened in Brunei when gay people are stoned to death, going back 2,000 years ago, 3,000 years ago. No, you cannot let the reptilians override you, okay, making you feel going to hell or wondering why your son or your daughter is the way she is and fighting her. Just learn, educate yourself. There's nothing wrong with your son or your daughter being attracted to the same sex. They are smart. In fact, the most clever, creative, super intelligent people. Now, you got some of them on CNN. I mean, that are gays. Doesn't do anything, doesn't affect the spirit. It's just the physiology, it's the physical part of the human body, which is doomed to go back in the dirt, while the spirit is limitless, is immortal. That's where you should learn and grow, because, that child chooses you. Okay, and some of the experience that child has to go through involving abduction and turning into gay, lesbian, or Down syndrome, this is part of a karma you already knew before you came and reincarnate of this dense physical world. So you could understand through pain, through suffering, and through curiosity. And in fact, there is no hell. Don't be afraid of hell. You are on hell in your own ignorance, fear, and stupidity. And that's why I'm here, trying to get you out of this darkness. Okay, there's only two forces, okay, the good and the bad, the light and the darkness, the good, positive, extraterrestrial, the draconis, and the negative one, the reptilians, or the reptilians, or the draconian, whatever names you heard somewhere. So be aware, educate yourself, okay? So when I see all this chaos, all stipulated, created, promoted by the reptilians who created those 875 different religions. Of course, now you're going to have a bunch of lunatic idiots killing people with stones because they don't understand why they are attracted to the same sex. It's their life, nothing to do with you. Just love them, respect them, understand them. And you can only do that if you cosmic conscious and understand the universal mechanics that I'm trying so hard every single day to make you aware of. It's just a matter of education. Sad enough, you ain't going to see Dr. Turing in any college, university, challenging psychiatrists and neuroscientists, and all these guys who trust science, to give them the answers of what it means to be human, not realizing that nothing starts or finishes in the brain. The brain is nothing else than a computer reacting to a very, very specific, subtle stimuli produced by the universal brain. There's nothing there. Nothing. It's just a program you inherited and you deserve because of your karma. It's as simple as that. It doesn't take a genius. It's just a universal program created by God, cosmic divinity. But if you know nothing about this mysterious, phenomenal, mind-boggling universal design, You're going to be a robot at your stars. You're going to be judgmental. You're going to have a war with your own kids or your own self, for that matter. And you're not going to regenerate. And how can you reach love, harmony, peace, respect in this world without cosmic consciousness? It's just impossible. It's time to look outside of the books that you've been conditioned and realize God never came down, wrote no damn books, but he made the stars. Simple as that. All right, what do we have? In the past 6 weeks, churches, mosques, and synagogues have been attacked. I tell you that religion is the cancer of the world. Maybe you don't understand me. Now, how are you going to change all that? Well, you change it by gathering all the information to what unified you, or the universal mind. Astrology is the universal religion that allows you to understand not only the depth or the core of your soul, your sins and virtue, but the one of all the people around you and all your kids, which have nothing to do with you. They may look like you. That's all they're going to do. You know, you have the human DNA, the physical manifestation, that's 100% real. Okay, but the spiritual DNA, nobody knows nothing about it. Zilch, zero. Now, all those scientists are looking into the piece of flesh in your head. I can only repeat myself and sound redundant. There is no difference between your brain, the one of Einstein, a killer, or mine. Exactly the same in many ways, unless it's diseases, of course, thanks to the reptilians. What's different is the UCI, or the unique celestial identity, a very specific programs that make you see, feel, think, and create totally, uniquely different than any other human being walking planet Earth. Secret. You can read about it through my books. You can take my course at home. And maybe like one of the very educated psychologist. In fact, he was not a psychologist. Excuse me. He still have those allergies. He was a very, very educated psychiatrist who told me, Dr. Tree, I've learned much more about what it means to be human in your course than 7 years spent in college. I mean, that's not an idiot. You cannot be an idiot and a moron and dwell with the secret of what it means to be human and dig into the universal mind. What else do we have? Rabbi, now we have to be expert in security. That's incredible. Not only for the rabbi, I guess anybody else. The gays, lesbians, people that are abnormal. You got a bunch of crazy people that are infected out there. They drink, they take drugs, they take legal or illegal medication. They get depressed, they get confused. Perfect scenario for the reptilians to hijack their body, mind, and soul and turn these people into killers. It's happening. It's all over. And again, don't expect scientific community to explain that to you because they don't know. And they will never know unless they learn from me. And many of them are learning, watching those videos, believe me. Construction crane fall in Seattle, Washington, I believe, killing 2 workers and 2 people in cars. I mean, Jesus, there you are. Pretty much like this crazy lunatic who didn't stop his big, huge rig and kill all these people. You don't expect it. This doesn't happen every day. It's not every day that a crane is going to fall out of a building and kill people and they're that are waiting for their loved one to come out of a shopping center. God knows. This is what it means, the sudden release of energy. You're not expecting it. Yeah. 5 people were found slain in 2 rural Tennessee homes. The suspect is in custody. Again, you know, this person, once upon a time, before he killed all these people, was a normal, happy, beautiful, loving, scared little kid. And nobody was there to teach him his stars, the platonic, deadly impulsion that he was born with. Nobody was teaching that child, that person, that criminal to be, that born killer that will damage and kill others. Nobody is there to teach this sort of child at a very early age, learn to control his psyche and control the reptilians, which are trying and succeed most of the time in their aim to turn them into freaking animals. Okay, you know, Australia plans to kill 2 million killer cats. I am an animal lover, but you know what? That doesn't happen every day. That a country such as Australia decide to kill all these cats because they're feral, can be dangerous, carry disease, but that's what the reptilians do. Now, they don't do this only with cats, they do it with insects. Millions and billions of insects just go there and eat all your crops. They do it with they will find ways to make sure the balance that we have end up upset, creating chaos and fears, and ultimately solution is killing. Oh wow, this is sad. I wish I had a national stage in a TV show where millions of people could see the news the way I do, or my student for that matter, and realize that, you know, you don't just see something and being upset about it and look at it, you know, like the big chaos that we have now in the school curriculum that provoked such an angry backslash because of they want to teach little kids what gays and lesbians are all about and to be more accepted. But that's not going to do it. That's not going to cut it. You can teach those kids to be more accepted. They will never be accepted. They need to understand. You can tell them, oh, be nice because he likes guys, or be nice because he likes a girl and he's different to you. That doesn't register to a child. You know, it will be obviously left without answer. That's not the answer. You need to give him the core to why a guy or a girl is attracted to the same sex. And the reasons are, there is 10 planets in solar, that makes a UCI. If in 10 planets you have, let's say, 8 that are masculine in the female chart, well, chances are this girl will be more masculine. She will wear shorts, she will want to join the Navy, she will want to be a cop, she will look for danger. It doesn't mean she won't be a good mom, and you know, but she will need that stimulation that a man can have. Adventure, fighting, in situation where drama and quick thinking and change is needed. Then you have a guy stuck in the body of a female. Or vice versa, the best cook, the best chef, very powerful big guys, they're going to cook and clean and be fussy and afraid of a little bee. You know, you need to give them, children are not stupid, especially this generation. They are their parents. This generation is becoming sharper and sharper. You need to give them the facts. That's why many of them turn out religion, because it doesn't make sense. They go to Google and find millions of different answers, and they get really confused. What's next? They don't have any grounding. They degenerate, they take drugs, they kill themselves or others. They become reptilians infected. You need to speak the truth. Explain to them that even though the adult in science do not understand or relate to astrology, does not mean it does not exist, and does not mean it's not real, and does not mean it doesn't work. You got to bypass that skepticism. Then you have to explain the possibility of extraterrestrials, the good and the bad guys, okay? Because it is part of our life. You cannot have a day without a night, up without a down, male without a female, a God without a devil. You need to explain that both sides have power. One is to destroy, maintain ignorance, fear, and chaos, maintain the darkness, keep the darkness alive, so to speak. The other side is totally the opposite. And you have those entities affecting the universal mind, which are taking place above your head because of your own cosmic makeup. They know, they understand that, and they use it against you, while the good one use it to help us, the draconies, you know, stimulating the mind of scientists to do wonderful things, to promote technology, to help us to survive a much longer life. There is so much, so much. At the beginning of this newsletter, and I kept it for last, of course, There is something involving a kid that actually is doing some good job for terminal ill patients. You have to read all the details because I took it from a CNN writer, and I always make sure to make the name available. So it reminds me. It reminds me when I was a kid. It could be any days now. Why, how you die matter. Okay, this is pretty deep. This is pretty deep. I remember when I was like 20, 22, I was working as a training nurse in St. Mary's Hospital in Eastbourne in England. There was a lot of old guy dying there. And this old man says to me, hey, could you play piano for me? I said, it's kind of late. I cannot play piano. There was a piano and then they could hear me, said, I'm going to play very, very lightly, okay? And he says, oh, before you do that, could you give me a glass of water, please? I said, yeah. So I go and get him a glass of water. Oh, no, it's the opposite. I play piano just for a few minutes because trying to help him to go to sleep. He was so much in pain. Then that's what he says when I came back. He thanks me. He says, oh my gosh, thank you so much, Louis. Thank you. He says, could you give me a glass of water, please? I say, yeah. So I went and got him a glass of water. When I came back, he was dead. He was gone. It is a sad reality. It is sad reality. I have been on both sides. And then there is a guy in the video that you're going to watch. He's been confined in bed. I don't know how long. He cannot move. He cannot do anything. And he's my age. It's 69 years old. He's about to die. He cannot do anything. No, that tells me how lucky I am at my age, 69, to be able to do what I do, to have escaped death, to have escaped cancer, and not to follow my oncologist's advice, to fry myself with their technology, and instead used universal blood transfusion, something that I'm going to be teaching in my conference. I have a trip. I have another cruise to do where I'll be talking about natural healing, where I will talk about, helping your eyes if you have eye problem like I do. And I work every single day trying to avoid surgery. I see absolutely phenomenally well far. When it comes to close, it's all blurry, okay? You know that stigmatic problem that I have. Everybody suffer that. When you get old, the eyeball, instead of being round, it flattens, and then it makes a distance between the back of your eyes, and then it makes everything flu. So what I'm trying to tell you is we all going to go sometimes. We all have. That's the ultimate justice. But it's just a passage. It's just a door to something much more incredible that await us, every one of us. So you should embrace death. I had never been really scared of death. I was mad because I felt my mission was not done when I caught cancer 10 years ago. And I didn't want to let it go. Then all sorts of things happened. Everything in me changes. My entire atomic structure changes because of this UFO's experience. And I see death more as a liberation. I see death as a freedom, as a rebirth to a higher level of consciousness, reconnecting with God, with your divinity, and allowing you to create, to build more life for us all. And all is that, and that is all, and that's God, and that's you, and that's me. All right, well, again, go and read that newsletter out there, and remember those idiots on Facebook is always reporting me, so there's no way that I can reach more people without your help. So if you think I have something interesting to pass on that can help you, here you go, okay? And remember, 2 watches, good surprise. It did happen. I'll tell you more about the UFO conference next time or when I know. Until then, talk to you again, God willing. God bless you. Make it a beautiful day, guys. Bye-bye.